I'm the Gentleman Wake, and in this episode, I take a look at the latest release from Theory 11. I'll also be giving away a deck of these cards, plus I announce the winner of the Notorious Gambling Frog deck giveaway. All that coming up. Remember, for the best in playing cards content, like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. Over the years, I've procured and reviewed quite a few decks from Theory 11. In that time, Theory 11 has gone from a well-established company that sold premium cards and magic tricks on the web to a playing cards giant with distribution arms reaching deep into the Targets and Walmarts everywhere in the country and beyond, and some massively successful property licenses in their stable. Some things have remained absolutely consistent in that time despite the impressive growth. Theory 11 makes some really outstanding tuck cases. The cards can be a bit hit or miss, and they almost always work with top quality designers. Over the years, I've fawned over the works of Dan Greta, Simon Frowes, Joe White, and most recently Russ Gray, all of which have created outstanding decks for Theory 11. One of my favorite Theory 11 alumni is, of course, Kevin Cantrell, my partner on my currently ongoing Kickstarter campaign, The Successor. On the subject of that campaign, before we get into the review, I want to remind everyone that you can still become a backer of the Successor playing cards. We've raised an astonishing amount of funding with a little bit of time to go. The Successor represents a 2-year effort to create the most luxurious playing cards ever produced, and we've spared no expense to make that claim true. Featuring tuck boxes with 5 foil layers, sculptural embossing, and outer tuck sleeves affixed with metal sculptures, 2 cards with luminous cold foil and gilded edges, plus the most elegant deluxe box set money can buy, the Successor Sarcophagus. The campaign is live through June 24th at 2 p.m. Eastern, so click on the link in the description below to become a backer today. All right, on to the review. These are the Dune playing cards based on the Warner Brothers 2021 film starring Timothée Chalamet. The deck comes packaged in a handsome foil embossed tuck case printed on premium paper. Across the front in raised gold foil and mimicking the design on the film's poster is the brilliant typographic treatment of the title, which rotates a horseshoe shape to face each of the cardinal directions. And but for the middle line on the E, also an ambigram. Behind the type, the box features panels and lines that harken to the battle armor donned by the main characters. Interestingly, there are splotches and lines of distress on the edges, like chipped paint, rendered in what looks like to be gray ink. What I think Theory 11 actually did is use gray tuck paper, and the black on the tuck surface is actually printed on, with the foil passes happening over top. It's a very cool effect. The sides of the tuck reiterate the deck name and the killer almost ambigram. The bottom features the traditional ad copy. The back of the box has a close representation of the back design on the cards, although it's not entirely one-to-one, as we'll soon see and discuss. It features some iconography that may be familiar to fans of the movie, symbols representing House Atreides, House Harkonnen, the Bene Gesserit, and the Freemans can be found. The tuck flap is held in place by a circular gold foil seal with the symbol of House Atreides in the middle. It's a nice tuck case, but certainly not my favorite of Theory 11's. They have such a tremendous catalog of outstanding boxes after all. I do commend them for utilizing both gold and black foil as well as ink printing. Opening the tuck box reveals an inner tuck pattern of black foil that all but confirms my theory of an underlying gray premium paper stock. The cards within, well, those too happen to not be my favorite. The card backs feature some iconography that will be familiar with fans of the movie. The house symbols found on the back, there's a hawk in each corner of the design, the mascot animal of House Atreides. The spoked wheel in the center, although seemingly mechanical in nature, may in fact represent the mouth of the infamous sandworm with its crystalline teeth. The back design feels a bit muted, the gold lines are a bit too thin and can make the design look a bit muddy. These are completely custom cards with unique pips and indices, although the layout of the pips is traditional. The pips include a faint thin line tracing the contours of each pip. The aces include larger pips with some included iconography over top of them. The hawk symbol of the House Atreides on the Ace of Hearts, the insignia of the Freemans on the Ace of Diamonds, and the House Harkonnen symbol on the Ace of Clubs. The Ace of Spades, the power ace, seems to forego the device, instead depicting what looks like to be a spice harvester within the large spade pip. If each suit did in fact represent a warring faction within the story, the aces would actually be a little bit cooler. Instead, once you see the way the court cards are handled, they come across as just kind of loosely tethered, and in some cases a little bit random. The court cards include depictions of the Dune cast of characters with likenesses based on the actors who portray them, including Oscar Isaac's Duke Atreides, Rebecca Ferguson's Lady Jessica, and Timothée Chalamet's Paul Atreides, representing the Hearts. Also of House Atreides, representing the King of Spades, is Josh Brolin's Gurney, and the Jack of Diamonds is Duncan Idaho, as portrayed by Jason Momoa. Representing the Freemans are Javier Bardem's King of Diamonds, Stilgar, and Zendaya's Shani as the Queen of Diamonds. Also of the Freemans is Liette Kynes as the Queen of Spades, played by Sharon Duncan Brewster. The clubs are reserved for the more malevolent forces in the Dune mythos. The Queen of Clubs is Gaius Helen Mohayam of the Bene Gesserit, played in the film by Charlotte Rampling. The Jack of Clubs is the ominous Harkonnen henchman Beast Rabban, as embodied by David Bautista. And finally, the nightmarish portrayal of Baron Harkonnen by Stellan Skarsgård is given his due as the King of Clubs. Rounding out the deck are two jokers. One features the gargantuan sandworm with its giant circular maw of spoke-like crystal teeth as it crests above the dunes of Arrakis. The second is an image of the famous ornithopter with its dragonfly silhouette flying above the sands. There are two additional cards as well, one a Theory 11 ad card and a second one devoted to the Dune franchise. The decks, as all Theory 11 decks tend to be, are printed by the United States Playing Card Company and handle as you would expect. Flourishes are easy enough, even though the muted tones of the deck aren't really well suited to cardistry. I couldn't find the name of the actual designer of this deck anywhere in my online search, and Theory 11 has developed a recent tendency to keep this info on the down low. So if you know who it is, comment below and let me know. It's certainly not one of the other more aforementioned bigger names, as this seems to be the work of someone who might be slightly less established by the looks of it. The courts are a little bit more simplistic than the more recently licensed film property decks Theory 11's been putting out. That, of course, could be a more deliberate choice, but I really do prefer the style we saw on the Harry Potter decks much more, for instance. The card backs are a bit muddled and generally the cards feel a little bit less inspired. Still, it's a nice deck for fans of the movie and the book for that matter. They are available at theory11.com for the customary price of $9.95, and frankly, it's astonishing how Theory 11 can keep that price point in the face of rising costs of production, global shipping, and inflation. It's really a testament to the volume of sales that they must enjoy, in no small part due to the distribution deals they have with Target and Walmart. Congrats to Tom Knox Jr. on winning my Notorious Gambling Frog deck giveaway. Contact me on Instagram to claim your prize, Tom, for a chance to win a Dune deck directly from me. Here's what you have to do. 1, like this video. 2, be a subscriber to this channel. And 3, let me know in a comment below what film or TV franchise would make a great subject for an awesome playing cards deck. To To check out another Theory 11 review, click on the video that will appear right here. Don't forget to head on over to the Successor Kickstarter page and back the campaign. I've been the Gentleman Wake. Thank you so much for watching. See you again next time.